Morning, Liz Redmond. Hope you're all well. Visa News Daily is the channel. 23,000 subscribers. Masked Islamic Gang take over London is the name of the video. So Mick Tenconi on the screen here, leader of UKIP. UKIP done a march in London yesterday. I believe I heard in passing it was supposed to be somewhere else, but it got cancelled, I think. So they moved it. So anyhow, a masked Islamic gang take over London is the name of the video. A masked Islamic gang came in sort of counter protest. Is what happened. So I'll play a bit of the video.
Was anticipated, another distinct group emerged.
I'll just play the video while I talk over it. So yeah, a masked Islamic gang turned up in sort of counter protest, all with hoodies on and balaclavas, and not showing who they are. Yeah, and left wing tactic all over again. Could have been some left wingers in there as well, maybe. But it's being touted as a masked Islamic gang takes over London is the name of the video anyway. I have seen it on a few other people's channels. Paz mentioned civil war. I mean, I'm very much inclined to agree with him in many ways. Like, they look like they're in, they want to fight in many ways. They're all men, they're all fucking masked up, they're all balaclavaed up, or the majority are. They look like they're wanting trouble in many ways. Does that look like a gang of friendly people, is a good way of putting it. The answer is very much no. So, yeah, it looks like not to be the doom monger in many ways, but it does look like civil wars coming towards us. The whole sort of World War III thing. Again, that's a bit in the distance. It looks like we might get some peace. That'll probably blow up out of nowhere. But the whole civil war issue in Britain, it's kind of on the horizon, and this is kind of proof of it, to be honest. As I've seen a few people mentioning, and this is the amount of Muslims that's in the country. This is nothing in compared to what's in Birmingham, and if they all gather together, which they're very good at doing. So it's very much signs of civil war. Not to be a doom monger again, but this kind of is what's happening, and whether it's been done on purpose, and all these people have been brought here to do this to again all these people on the boats at this point. But never mind the people on the boats. There's enough Muslims here without people on boats. So again, I just feel there's very bad times coming. In many ways, again, there's economically, you've got civil war, you've got actual war. Nothing looks great at the minute. Is kind of the way it is. I mean, like on another level, you've got the Online Safety Act, you've got the Digital ID. I mean, ultimately, it's the New World Order. That's what a lot of people won't figure out. That all these little things connect to one bigger thing, which is ultimately the New World Order. So that's about the way of it. And through one of the mottos of the New World Order, or the global elites, if you want, is order out of chaos. That's very much one of their mottos, order out of chaos, and only through the chaos can you bring the order they desire, because you need justification, and the justification is the chaos. So inciting hate and race violence and civil war and all this, it furthers agendas for certain people, but a lot of people can't see that either. Why the powers that be would want civil wars or want these things to happen, and the answer is because they can bring in more rules. They can bring in more rules when everything goes to shit and everybody's breaking all the rules. They can bring in more rules. Is again, um, like you can get sort of special powers in times of war and crisis, so to speak, when you're the government. Again, a bit like what happened with COVID. But that was just on a virus level, you know what I mean? If it's kicking off, then again, they still can have emergency powers and bring in loads of different rules and laws because of the trouble, curfews, etc. Digital IDs, as another example. Digital ID. This could be used to justify it as well, the troubles. So it's still all very much on the card. It's all coming down the line. I can't I can't like warn people enough there. Like to be honest, that the future is a shit show. Like if you think it's bad now, like it's gonna get a lot fucking worse. On many levels, again, poverty, the economy, like money tanking and everything costing a fortune, and you're struggling to pay your rent and all this sort of shit. That's coming down the line. If you're not in a really good job, and even then, if you listen to what's going on with the small businesses, you could be out of a job very, very soon if you don't work for one of the major companies. There's a lot of stuff coming, and again, anybody who can, I wouldn't say see the future, but it is being able to see the future. But you can see the future because you can, well, you know history and know we go around in fucking circles for a start. But you can see how things are transpiring in the background, how things are coming together, and yeah, it's all really there to be seen. Again, this picture here is the very early signs of a civil war. That's what this picture is. You have multiple, and you're talking in this crowd here's thousands, I would imagine, but not in this picture, but in the crowd. And across the country, you could have up to a couple of million of these people, Muslims, who are willing to fight for what they believe in. And you've got a real fucking problem on your hands there when you've got a million people willing to fight for something they believe in. And again, there's all this Tommy Robinson thing, which massively on Tommy Robinson's side. This is the thing. I was thinking about this last night, to be honest. From Tommy Robinson's angle, it's very much about the Muslims, if anybody hasn't noticed. Whereas the Britain in general is sick of a multitude of problems. The economy, everything costing a fortune, not being able to get hospital appointments, all the migrants coming on boats and being put in hotels, and how much that's costing us, and these people attacking children. And like, none of them problems are anything particularly to do with the Muslims, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying some of them aren't involved in some of them problems, but it's not anything that the British people are directing at the Muslim community in particular, is what I'm trying to say. Whereas Tommy Robinson's crusade is very, very much against the Muslims, if you would like to listen to Tommy Robinson. And yet here we have all the Muslims standing up, willing to fight, and you've got Tommy Robinson galvanising the British people to stand up and fight. But again, for me anyway, the message of Tommy Robinson's sort of Muslim crack, it's not as strong because, again, everything I've mentioned there, like my issues, as many people will know, is with the migrants, the hotels, the amount it's costing us, children and women getting attacked, very much the economy. I go on about a lot. Like all of these problems to me are the big problems, and the Muslims, although there might be a problem, and it looks like there might be with this picture. We've got a lot of other problems as well, but Tommy Robinson's is very much centred around the Muslims, in my opinion. Again, now he's in Israel, and it's all about October the 7th and everything that happened against the Muslims. He tried to go in a mosque, and I've seen there, and a lot of stuff, and it just seems like he's trying to very, very much build up hatred for the Muslims. And you've got all the Muslims standing up here, because again, in order to have a civil war, you need two sides to fight a civil war. You need the Muslims here, and you need our side. So you've got to galvanise our troops in many ways, and is Tommy Robinson the man to galvanise the troops for the civil war? But ultimately, because we're having this entire conversation now, means that this civil war is kind of planned. Do you know what I mean? And it's part of the general chaos in leading to the New World Order, again, to bring in lots of rules, possibly a digital ID. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, you know what I mean? This picture says 1,000 words, as you just heard, to be honest. This picture says 1,000 words. And it's not all bad for the Muslims, in my, like, not bashing the Muslims, because at the end of the day, like, you've got to look on both sides. And from the Muslims' perspective, they're watching this whole Tommy Robinson thing take shape. They've got UKIP standing up. And from their angle, again, like, especially with the Tommy Robinson thing, it's... Yeah, well, saying that, he's not bashing the Muslims, to be honest. He bashes Islamists, but a lot of them are Islamists. That's the problem. Like, these people, like, look like they all might be Islamists, you know what I mean? Again, it depends, I suppose, how thoroughly you follow the Quran, but according to the crack, if you follow the Quran correctly, then you're an Islamist and not a Muslim. Well, you're both, I suppose, but like according to the book, what people have seen, then apparently we need to die and jihad and all this crack, and we're below them because we don't believe what they believe and all this bullshit. So no, I'm not on that. So um, yeah, but it's a fucking mess, to be honest. It is a mess, and it's gonna get a lot worse. It's gonna get a lot worse. And yet again, this picture is kind of proof of that. That these people now are beginning to stand up in number. They're all wearing masks and hat and hoods as if they're ready for some sort of action, some sort of violence to kick off. All men, all men, all men of fighting age. So again, a picture says 1,000 words, but it's not good words, and I kind of feel that at this point we're being pushed into this. We're very much being pushed into everything, and nothing's happening by chance here. Everything is planned, is the best word for it. Everything's planned, and it all leads down the road to where people want us to go. We need that they want it. Like, I mean, look at this guy. Of all the people in all the world not to release from prison by accident, who did the release? The migrant who started all the migrant protests. Now, the British people, due to apathy and maybe a bit of decorum is maybe a good word, maybe a bit of decorum, but maybe a bit of apathy as well. They released that guy from prison, and nobody's really said boo about it. I think we're all in disbelief. Like, they must have done that on purpose. Kind of, whether people are seeing through it is another way. Because it kind of feels like me, like they've done that on purpose, and they want us to kick off. Do you know what I mean? They want us to kick off. So, and then here's a load of Muslims gathering, and just as it's happened as well as UKIP march. So it maybe hasn't quite worked out how everybody wanted this in terms of it didn't kick off big style. But it does feel a lot like people want us to fight with each other and want us to kick off. And again, Tommy Robinson is very much pushing that angle for me. That's what I feel Tommy Robinson's biggest message is. It's all about the Muslims really, and the British people are not just complaining about the Muslims, to be honest. In fact, the Muslims aren't really what we're complaining about. I mean, it's generally the migrants, the boats, the money, the rapes of women and children, and that's kind of what the British people are primarily concerned about and protesting about. Then you've got all the issues of the economy and well, just like the economy really. But I mean, you've got other issues, transgenderism and all this other bullshit in the background, I suppose. But it's all very much divide, rule, and conquer. Yet again, this divide, rule, and conquer. Well, look at this big group of lads here. What are they all looking? Not any of them look English and white. No. So let's go over to the UKIP protest. Do any of these look Muslim? No. All right. So there's us divided. So looks like we're going to have a big fight at some time in the near future, which will get real violent, real bloody, real messy. It'll probably happen in London or Birmingham area. It could get real tense in them areas if something does kick off in any big way, shape or form. But again, I feel like this is all planned for us, is what I'm trying to say. And it's not going to go well. It's really not going to go well for anyone. People are probably going to die in horrible ways, in violent, horrible ways. We look really, truly do look like we're building to a civil war. But in my opinion, at this point, it looks like we're being pushed towards this civil war, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. Um, Yeah, it's divide, rule, conquer for me. Divide, rule, conquer, and I very much believe at this point Tommy Robinson could be playing us, and it's not just Tommy; it's everybody. Everybody's playing us. That's the game. Everybody is playing us. And the only get out Tommy's got really is he's playing us, but he doesn't know he's being played by Israel possibly, but I'm not so sure of that, to be honest. But yeah, again, when this civil war kicks off and all these people are fighting and blood is being spilled here in the streets, rivers of blood in the streets, I guarantee you Tommy Robinson will not be fighting with you. Tommy Robinson will not be fighting. He will not be there. Um, yeah, I did think a lot of Tommy Robinson, but I'm just having double thoughts here. But I just know for a fact that statement to be true. When it all kicks off and blood is being spilled, the violence that Tommy Robinson incited here, he will not be there to fight it. I guarantee you he will not be there to fight it. He will not be fighting on the front lines with you against the Muslims. I guarantee he won't. If he is, I'll take it all back. I will take it all back if he is, but if in my opinion, Tommy Robinson will not be there fighting these men if it all comes to that. He won't. Um, yeah, that's kind of my opinion on it at the minute. Tommy Robinson's fucked up in many ways going to Israel. It's too. It's too. He's done too much. He's bumming Israel too much, and Israel are no saints in what they do. This is let's not get things mixed up here either. Like Israel are no saints. No, let's not. But nobody's blameless. You know what I mean? Nobody's blameless out here. Um, Israel probably have killed lots of women and children in the destruction of Gaza, be it collateral damage. It still happened. It was still the death of women and children. People are going to be pissed off about that. Yeah, let's not claim anyone's a saint on planet Earth at this point, and nobody is. But it's getting real complicated. Again, this a picture says 1,000 words. This is getting real complicated, to be honest, and I don't think it's going to be too long before all these men here have had enough. Enough is enough was the cry from one side, but when the cry of enough comes from these men, although this is kind of them saying it at the same time, I'm not quite sure what their ultimate beef is the thing. Like what's the beef for the well, what are they pissed off? What are they protesting? Smash the far rights, the sign. So they believe everybody to be far right, but again, the whole remigration, kick them all out. I suppose that the Muslims feel like they're included in that, to be honest, and possibly could be by a lot of British people. We're not really happy about the mosque situation, so I can see how they feel. Yeah, I can see how they feel and what they're feeling. This is it. I look at it from both sides, but having done so and having seen all these people eventually stand up now in mass with balaclavas on, hoods and masks, and look like they do actually maybe want to fight, it's not going to go well for anybody. I've just figured out, and I just figured out that I can guarantee you Tommy Robinson will not be there fighting with you. And it very much looks like he's just stoking the fire, and it's all part of a big plan to have a massive civil war so we can bring in the New World Order. Is the kind of the way I'm looking at it at this point. I'll be happy to be proved wrong. I'll be happy to be proved wrong, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But when civil war begins, as I said, I guarantee Tommy Robinson won't be there on the front line fighting with you. So I'll leave it there. But this is a picture of coming troubles, I would say. Coming troubles. I don't know how long it's going to take. But it looks like the Muslims have stood up now, and yeah, this won't go well, This really won't go. Civil war will not go well. For anybody all over the country, this will not go well. So, I mean, I don't know how you would stop it at this point. That's the other thing. I don't know how you would stop it. Kind of like the ball's in motion and everybody's kind of took the bait. Is the kind of thing it looks like. I always see the light before it's ruin is a very good lyric to a song. I always see the light before it's ruin. Peace.